Welcome back, fans, to IPW Weekly Recap right here on UPN 44. We've got a big main event tonight. It's for the IPW Heavyweight title. Billy Fives, your former champion, he's challenging Agent Steele. And in your opening match, it's Chaos versus Primeval. They're going for the Hardcore title, brought to you by the Hardcore Giant Ron Nemi and the Hardcore host, Aaron Royal.
You're hardcore?
Yep.
You're not hardcore, Aaron Royal. You can wrap yourself in a chain. You can throw yourself into a pile of tacks. You could wrestle Mr. Pogo in a barbed wire explosive death match, and you wouldn't be any more hardcore than Coco Ware and Norvell Austin as the original incarnation of the Midnight Express. Ron Nemi is hardcore. Chaos is the man that built IPW hardcore wrestling on his blood, sweat, and tears. It doesn't matter if the fans were for him or if they're against him. He happens to be back in the good graces of the fans, and that isn't good for Primeval. You're IPW hardcore champion. This is just another chapter in the history of a long war. What in the hell are you doing?
Crazy hardcore madness coming up right here. Here's your challenger for the hardcore title. He's held that title about 500 times, and coming out with him is Concession Boy. It's Chaos.
Concession Boy and Chaos. You talk about an insane alliance, but here you got Primeval being led to the ring by the Hardcore Princess, and following the rear, Jethro Death Row, or if you'd like to call him Death Row Jethro.
Yes, Death Row is actually his name. I know you were reading it with the comment in between. That's usually your cue.
I know. Please, you got to give me a line. The guys holding the cue cards usually know the Hardcore Giant. Doesn't have to read his lines, but help me out. Don't put him like a phone book. Put his name. It's not Death Row Jethro. It's Jethro Death Row.
No, it's Death Row Jethro.
All right, now that we got it straight, you got Primeval, the IPW Hardcore Champion, absolutely taking it to Chaos, the former champion. Like he said, he's held this belt about 1 billion times. We've built the hardcore division around Chaos, and you got the Mud Baby Star Stevens, the hardcore referee who made his name for himself in Puerto Rico in the dreaded mud match that had Black Bart, Dutch Mantel, and Carlos Colon tearing each other from limb to limb.
And yes, once again, fans, the participants in that match always change.
The legendary mud match from Puerto Rico is one of the most brutal matches of all time, and yes, sometimes the details get messed up, but you see Chaos, he hits him with a modified spear, if you would. Actually, just grabbed his legs and threw him to the mat and comes down with some big soup bones to the side of Primeval's head.
Oh, and he's got a Jet Jaguar-like crawl right there on the crotch of Primeval. Primeval, a rookie in here, he's the hardcore champion. You don't see that very much. And a difference between Chaos and the Chaos of a few months ago, he seems to be back firmly, not only in the camp of IPW, but he seems to firmly have the fans behind him once again.
Here in IPW, the truth is, it really doesn't matter half the time what camp you're in. It doesn't matter. And there he goes right back to the testicular claw, which is one of the most devastating moves in all of professional wrestling. But Chaos, he's out for himself. He's out to prove that he is the man that IPW Hardcore was built around. He is back in the good graces of the fans. I'm not sure if it's because of what he's been doing or if it's against who he's actually wrestling against.
And as usual in a Chaos match, Chaos comes up bleeding. This guy has shed more blood than most blood banks have taken over the last several years. And there you see him going right after Death Row Jethro. Star Stevens, he can do nothing about it. It's a hardcore match. Anything goes.
Star Stevens doesn't care. He doesn't care. And you see the Hardcore Princess making the mistake of slapping Chaos across the face, and he grabs her right around her skinny neck and tries to choke her. He's trying to kill her, and the fans love it. They don't like her. They call her that turncoat bitch, and she has earned the moniker.
She's turned on several of her former proteges here at IPW, Chaos being only the latest one. And I tell you, who else but the Hardcore Princess could turn a guy like Chaos back into a fan favorite when he attacked her?
He did attack her. He's the type of guy that doesn't care if it's man, woman, or child. If you're going to get in the face of Chaos, or if you're going to level him with a wicked chair shot the way Primeval did, right to the side of the cranium of Chaos, whose medulla oblongata was bruised long ago, you can't phase him by working on his head. It doesn't matter. It's like going after Samoan Alpha, hitting him across the head with a chair. He's going to look at you and say,
Okay, Rod. Right now, I was wondering when Concession Boy was going to involve himself in this match. You knew it was coming, and there he was fighting Death Row Jethro outside the ring. Right now, Primeval just stepping on the throat of Chaos, taking advantage of the anything goes policy. And I tell you what, like I said, he may be a rookie that came to the WrestlePlex, but he's just as hardcore as anybody we've got.
He doesn't care if he's got to work on his trachea or if he's got to work on his larynx. He obviously can't go to the head of Chaos. He can't take him out by smashing him in the head. And what the hell, is he actually biting him, Aaron?
I believe he is.
I think he is.
I think so.
He's not trying to chew his fingernails off of those long, gangly fingers of Primeval, and he comes once again and goes to the lower extremities, a.k.a. his back.
Ouch!
Levels him with a chair shot of his own, and he looks very proud. You were talking about the Florida blood bank earlier, and the amount of blood that has been shed here in the ring. It's like the time that you went to the sperm bank, and after trying to make a withdrawal, they looked at you in total confusion, Aaron.
It's nothing like that at all, and keep my private life out of this,
All right,
please.
I'm going, because I actually just got sick to my stomach even bringing up that.
All right, Ron, you usually only choke up when you're talking about wings and blue cheese, but right now it seems like everything's choking you up. Seems like this hardcore madness, the level that it has reached once again in IPW, taking even you by a bit of surprise.
I like the violence. I like the hardcore, and I love the bloodshed, just like the fans. You see Death Row Jethro and Concession Boy, who's masquerading around this week as Captain Insano, complete with hairy armpits that he didn't shave, much to the chagrin of Death Row Jethro.
Tell you what, normally that's Hardcore Princess's gimmick, but she left it up to the boys this week.
Wow, she's not going to like that. And they go right to the newly constructed, death-defying bleachers of the Florida Wrestleplex. You see that young chick up on top there, scrambling for her life, and she says, please help me down. And the little boy to the right says, I like this, I don't want to move. This is the best seat in the house. Primeval is up there getting punched in the face by Chaos, who uses his shoulders to take him and climb right to the top. And he, oh my God, he throws him right.
Wow.
That's about a 17-foot drop, Aaron.
And now we've got a chair fight going in the middle of the ring like a sword fight. Oh, low blow by Concession Boy to Death Row Jethro, and he's going to take him out with the, well, I thought he was going to take him out with the chair, but apparently he's just going to point to his head.
He's pointing to his head, and if all it serves me right from all my years of studying wrestling, that means that he's thinking or has brains. But him pointing to his brain is like the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty, trying to claim, oh my God, what a chair shot that folds the chair right in half over the head of Captain Insano / Concession Boy.
Chaos
Slash
just
really
taking
crazy ass
everybody.
duck belt.
Oh.
Oh my God, the big boot to the face. Axis is screaming in the back that that's gimmick infringement. He's screaming in the back, I am the one that trademarked that move. I am the one that watched Horace Hogan use that big move last week, and for God's sake, now Primeval's using it. Next thing you know, the hardcore giant Ron Nemi's going to be using a big high boot to the face.
Yeah, the next thing you know, guys like Hulk Hogan or Test might start using it, Axis. Get over it.
Nevertheless, Primeval comes back with a huge vertical suplex, lays out Chaos in the middle of the ring, and he gets a nice...
Is that mustard?
No, that's a cute and cuddly teddy bear that he seems to be fondling very inappropriately, and it's filled with tacks. He's got his foot in his throat, is going nuts. They said, we like stuffed animals that happen to be filled with tacks, or if you like, you can fill it with 3-penny nails.
Or Cocoa Puffs, or any of the various assortment of things that you see in these IPW hardcore matches. I didn't expect the tacks to come out of a stuffed animal, though. I'll tell you that much.
I was a bit surprised myself. I hate to say it. Oh my God,
Ow.
that huge press slam off the top rope. Star Stevens is in the corner. He soils himself. He's completely
That's
blown
Jim
up.
Bragg's gimmick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I get mixed up in the referees. Star Stevens says, I'll count the 3-pin, but I'm not slapping the mat and having my bony yellow fingers slapped right into these tacks. I'll find a nice bare spot here in the corner, and I think I got one in my ass. Excuse me as I call a referee's timeout.
And Chaos said, just stay out of my way, Star Stevens. I'm going to beat the hell out of this guy and take back my hardcore title.
He closed at his hardcore title. He says he doesn't care who's got it around their waist. He doesn't care who it is that's carrying that belt around. That IPW Hardcore Championship is mine, and I just DDT'd Primeval right on his head into some tacks, and Death Row Jethro comes in unhandcuffed. He comes in and he puts a big boot to the small of the back of Chaos, whose small of his back is not small by any means.
This hardcore division, you sometimes have to fight off 2, 3, 4, maybe even a dozen guys during these matches. As we said before, there are no rules. You have to be doubly tough to even survive a match, much less win one in the hardcore division.
You see Primeval, he looks like he's a human pincushion with the amount of tacks that are stuck through his back, through his legs, and even into the head. And Concession Boy levels Chaos, who totally no-sells the chair shot, only to get kneed right in the nuts and gets dropped into the tacks himself. Star Stevens delicately comes over 1, 2, and 3. Still your hardcore champion, Primeval.
And what was going on with Concession Boy there? He came out with Chaos. I guess he's a little bit upset about that chair shot where Chaos accidentally hit him in the head earlier. And right now, Death Row and Jethro, whatever, you got me confused, Ron. And Primeval, they're putting the boots to Chaos. They say, we don't want to just pin him. We want this guy out of IPW. We want this guy out of wrestling. We are the future of hardcore wrestling.
It looks like another swerve by the hardcore princess. She looks like she's got enough. Look at him, he's throwing himself into the tax. After the brutal, sheer barbarianism that he was just in the ring, and Chaos is throwing chairs into the ring. And these three brain-dead idiots, Captain Insano, Concession Boy, Death Row Jethro, and Primeval with the hardcore princess, they don't care. And Star Stevens is using all kinds of referee hand movements, acting like he's an air traffic controller / IPW hardcore referee.
I tell you what, Concession Boy, Primeval, and Death Row Jethro, along with Hardcore Princess, they're celebrating in the ring now. But if we've learned anything from the career of Chaos, these guys are going to have hell to pay, and they're going to have hell to pay real soon.
You talk about an unholy alliance. Look at these three freaks that depend on the mind. What the hell? Are they going to actually fight each other now? No, you got Primeval set. Oh no, see, he raises the hand of Concession Boy, who then raises the hand of Death Row Jethro. This is an unholy alliance.
Your friends all stop and stare at my spiky hair and at my punk rock t-shirt. You are the girl for me, only you can see me. Your eyes are not open, 'cause I am one of a kind, and you'll never find a guy who will love you more. I see you in the hall, I trip and then I fall, and you just stand there laughing. It wouldn't hurt so bad if you only had offered to help me up, and you are the girl for me, only you can see me. Your eyes are not open, 'cause I am one of a kind, and you'll never find a guy who will love you more. Maybe someday you will see just how wonderful are we.
Hey, I'm Callahan from Tampa Bay's only wrestling show, The Steel Cage, on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
I'm the Putz.
And this is the hardcore giant, Ron Mimi.
And of course, this is our producer, The Foreign Object.
Join us Saturdays at 11 on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
We're the home of the Bucks, the and now
IPW hardcore professional wrestling.
it's every Saturday at 11 on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
You talk about violence, you talk about hardcore, that was only the beginning. On September 7th, you got an IPW Tag Team Hardcore Handicap Death Match, and that's more than a mouthful. But you got Kubiak, the former IPW Hardcore Champion, teaming up with his former nemesis, Chaos. And they're going to take on the current IPW Hardcore Champion, Primeval, teaming up with Death Row Jethro and the Concession Boy, led to the ring by the Hardcore Princess. But that's not the only match on the 7th. We got the IPW Television Champion defending his belt against Frankie Capone, who managed to get back from Puerto Rico without being stabbed to death.
Enough out of you for one day. Move along. We're the stars of the show. Back up. Frankie Capone, how can you honestly think you're going to get in the ring with the Miami Power Machine? You're down there in Puerto Rico in some mud hut for $5 a day, when I'm way down in Davis Island living in the penthouse suite. Naff, I don't know what's causing all this.
Either do I. But hey, I got Jarrell on the 7th.
Who?
I don't know.
Short guy like that.
IPW heavyweight title match coming up. Here comes your former champion. This time he's the challenger. It's Billy Fives. And here comes your champion. He's with his secretary, Tiffany, with some of the longest legs in the independent scene. It's Agent Steele. These two guys, no love lost for each other. Billy Fives would never defend the title against Agent Steele when he was the champion. Agent Steele said, "Coming in the ring, Billy. I'll show you I could have beaten you anytime, any place." Fans, you saw Ron Nini run off like a little baby during that last segment, but I have some competent replacements. It's your current television champion, the ultimate heel, Rod Steele, and the Florida Unified Cruiserweight champion, Naphtali.
Great wrestling. These guys are going at it tooth and nail. Agent Steele, IPW heavyweight champion. Rod, last night,
You know, if we have a TV show, how can you not have the TV champion on? You just watch my man Agent Steele in there doing a whole lot of good things. Talking about arm drags, hip tosses. Billy Fives really didn't know what hit him there, and he had to kind of quick powder out. What do you think about this guy?
He's
Billy
got the
Fives,
clap going.
He's trying to be a baby face here. Is this the Billy Fives that we're used to?
Billy Fives may be a babyface in FOW, but here in IPW, he's almost as big a heel as Rod Steele. You guys have teamed up in the past. You've had some run-ins with the Cuban Assassin together. You both took care of those Tough Enough 2 guys, Rod. Tell me your opinion. Who's going to walk out with the title? Agent Steele, your namesake, or Billy Fives?
Well, Agent Steele really has no relation to me. You see a quick roll in here by him, but I got to give the money to Billy Fives here. He's got the talent. He's got the look. He's been the champ before. Of course, granted, he's never been the TV champ. And, you know, speaking of being a TV champ, what's it like sometimes just to always be winning each and every match? You know, we see Billy Fives here going up and over our man Agent Steele. What do you think about some of this here chain wrestling they got going on?
You know, chain wrestling is a very important part of wrestling, and people have forgotten about it. It's all spot, 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 here, there,
Naphtali
everywhere.
putting people down for spots. You gotta love it.
Hey, we're not nowhere GA. This is the IPW in the Florida WrestlePlex. We're not talking about spots. We do a lot more than just simply high spot, high spot, high spot. Ain't that right?
That's right. Both me and you, Rod, we both got our titles from being chain wrestlers. Not, you know, I did maybe a few spots here and there, but, you know, it's all about good
A
ground
few
chain
spots here and there.
A few spots here and there.
Now, Rod Steele, I'll give him credit. He can chain wrestle. He can brawl with the best of them. He even throws in a little bit of high flying. Naphtali, you and I go way back. But to say that you don't do a lot of spots, that's like Ron Nini logic.
You know, I train here at the Florida WrestlePlex. Me and Rod
You're a trainer, actually.
Yes, me and Rod Steele are the head trainers here. So don't put down
As
my
is
technical
Agent Steele.
wrestling ability.
Here we go, big Irish rip there by Billy Fives, shoulder tackle.
Agent Steele showing him how it's done.
We go up and over. Billy Fives, takes a quick tumble. We see a reverse here by Agent Steele.
Wow, nice maneuver by Billy Fives, up and over.
What do you call that, guys? Since Ron and I can never call them moves, why don't you guys help out a little
Why
bit
would it have to be
instead of
called
just
that?
arguing amongst your titles?
I'm not arguing amongst my titles. I'm calling the match here. Agent Steele going for a lateral press, and two.
All right, great
He's the
technical
leg.
match going on here.
win
Like,
that way.
hey, I'm talking here. Great technical match going on between these two. Let the commentator do his job, guys. You're here to add some technical expertise, but even I can call a rear chin lock.
That is not only a rear chin lock, that is a version of the camel clutch, made famous by one Iron Sheik.
You see how Agent Steele sits way back on it now as he's getting back up. Billy Fives, big shots in the back. I don't know, Billy Fives' back's kind of stout, but I don't know if he can take that kind of punishment from Agent Steele.
One thing we haven't seen lately, because Agent Steele is on the offensive here, we haven't seen Tiffany have to get involved in this match. But after he dumped Mark Gold and introduced a new secretary a few weeks back, she's obviously been a big inspiration for him here during this title reign. Let's not forget, Billy Fives wouldn't defend that title against Agent Steele, even though he did win Rage in the Cage 2002. But Billy Fives lost that title to Mike Sullivan, and in that infamous broken ring match, Agent Steele, he took that title from Mike Sullivan. He's your current champion. Not a lot of people thought he could hold on to it for this long, but when he's in there with Billy Fives, Mike Sullivan, Scoot Andrews, anybody you want to name, he more than holds his own and shows exactly why he's the top guy in IPW right now. No offense to you two, but Agent Steele is your heavyweight champion.
Wow, big reverse Russian leg sweep right on his face, and Agent Steele's foot on the rope.
That's the ring savvy by your champion, Agent Steele.
Remember, you know, to be a champion, to defend your title, you don't. You just have to be beaten. You can keep it by DQ, count out, anything. You have to be pinned or submit. And you know what? Billy Fives is going right for this one. He says, I know the deal, Naphtali. You don't have to tell me. I'm going for the submission.
Billy Fives, they call him the Vortex because he knows a variety of submission holds. So it's like a good Tiffany back there in the background.
Hello.
A little concerned. Ooh, I don't know, man. She's looking a little,
You know, dumping Mark Gold and Tiffany, that was the smartest thing Agent Steele has ever done, in my opinion.
Of the many things Agent Steele has ever done, you're right, that would have to rank right up there. Not that Mark Gold didn't help him get to where he was at. Let's face it, he was his manager of record whenever he won that title. But as I said, he stepped stepped his game up with the lovely Tiffany in his corner, and who wouldn't?
He was also the champ. He was also the manager whenever we took those tag team championships. Or I should say, I took those tag team championships from Agent Steele and his partner.
That's right. You guys beat Quickie Mart and the independent superstars, York and Matthews.
Hook the leg, no. 2 count by Billy Fives.
Okay, but Billy Fives almost became a 2-time IPW heavyweight champion there. These guys have met in the past, but it ended in a big schmoz. Cuban Assassin came in the ring. Rod Steele, you came in the ring. All kinds of people. It was madness. We couldn't even explain what was going on TV. It was so crazy.
Just climbed up Agent Steele's leg.
Jim Bragg getting in there really fast, strong, but still Agent Steele able to kick out just before the big 3 count.
I tell you what, if anything would loosen the bowels of the constantly constipated Jim Bragg, it's a high-flying, great technical wrestling match like this one. But you can tell by, by the way he's walking around that he's still in just a bit of pain.
You know, Billy Fives, wow, look at that knee right to the noggin of Agent Steele. Billy Fives is trying to become a champion in 2 companies here, FOW and IPW. But we all know who the real champion of 2 different companies is, right?
That's right. And speaking of being a champion, let me cut you off here a moment there, Nap. And speaking of cutting off, Aaron, don't you cut me off when I'm calling this match with your nonsense. I'm trying to tell, look at Billy Fives in the
nice
big
stuff.
I'm trying to tell what Billy Fives doing in the ring, and you're too busy putting yourself over and making yourself with all the ha-ha funny jokes. Now, normally you and I see eye to eye, but when we're trying to call a match here, respect us when we talk about the truth.
See, I couldn't call that. That's what you guys are here for, so do it.
It's a Texas Cloverleaf slingshot combination right back into the Texas Cloverleaf. And Billy Fives is close to the ropes, and he grabs it. Very savvy as he is, as you said, Rod Steele.
That's right. That's the kind of things you'll learn in the Florida WrestlePlex. There's things like the spinning reverse cloverleaf gimmick. Wait a minute, that's from Ron. Didn't we chase him out of here earlier already?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Agent
fans.
Steele, obviously not knowing where he is in the ring, tries to pin Billy Fives right by the ropes, right after Billy Fives grabbed the rope to break the hold in the first place.
See, that's why Agent Steele is only your IPW heavyweight champion and not the TV champion.
Oh, he's only the IPW heavyweight champion. And I tell you what, I may not like all the hand clapping and handshaking that goes on with Agent Steele and these fans out there at ringside when he goes out there.
Oh, so close for Agent Steele.
I suppose I could just sit here and let you guys call the match.
Well, if you really wanted to.
But thankfully, fans, I wouldn't do that to you guys. And just to let you know, we have a big show coming up here tomorrow night. That's September the 7th, right here at the WrestlePlex. The winner of this match will be facing Pat McGroin for that heavyweight title, the guy with the stiffest chops in IPW, and that's saying a whole lot. Tell you what, you guys both have big title defenses coming up tomorrow night as well.
Oh, man, look at that big kick by Billy Fives. He about knocked his feet off his head.
Big kick. I could have called that. Okay, Naphtali, you're taking on Jarrell Clark for the light heavyweight title. Rod Steele, you're taking on Frankie Capone for the television title. If you ever get a chance to stop putting yourselves over otherwise, feel free to talk about that.
Well, why would we ever put anybody else up when we are champions?
Frankie Capone too busy running around. Nice. Big move by Billy Fives. Here we go now. Billy's just sizing him up, pacing himself. He can do anything he wants to him right now.
Looks like he's going for a big moonsault.
Shades of Don Juan DeSanto from last week, and with the same result.
Looks like Agent Steele should capitalize on this. He's going to the top, the second. Where's he going?
We've seen this before. He could be sizing him up for his variation of the blockbuster. Well, here we go now.
And
there it is, folks. This is usually it. Billy Fives double tough, but if Agent Steele can hurry up, he's going to retain this title.
1, 2, and
No,
Billy Fives showing that. What's that? Intestinal fortitude.
Somewhere. Tell you what, Agent Steele taking just a bit too long to make the cover, or he would have walked out here still the champion. As it is, he has to hook him for a suplex. Can you get him over?
Suplex.
This is where you guys come in. Once again, guys, this is why we brought you in here. Know what you're doing, for crying out loud.
Well, I would like to call that an orange crunch.
Come on.
All right.
You don't want to get stretched again, do you, Jim?
Taking liberal advantage of this rope policy. We saw Naphtali during his match where he won that light heavyweight unified title. He did the same thing.
Is it power bomb, pile driver? Billy Fives is just no-selling him. And kryptonite punch. Nope, he reverses it.
Agent Steele gets out of it. What's going on
Oh,
here?
it's the fifth dimension by Billy Fives. This could be it. I've seen him put many people away, including almost me one time.
Yeah, well,
As a tribute to Ron Nimi, we'll call that a twist him around and land him on his face dealy.
Well, if that's what you really want to call it, we'll call
I
it the fifth
do.
dimension the way it's supposed to be called. Billy Fives just has such a variety of different moves that he can beat you with.
Both men are down. Jim Bragg making the count here.
Come on, Billy.
Which one's going to get up first?
I'm
Looks
sorry.
like Billy's doing his knee.
I have no preference. Just scratch that last comment.
Oh, big
Shot
shot.
by Billy Fives. Oh, he just Steele put the right back.
Tell you what, the chops that go on here in this IPW ring are unbelievable. Between these two guys, Pat McGroin, Mike Sullivan, Chris Benoit, and the Flair Steamboat Series from '89. One of my 3 favorite things, by the way. They've got nothing on IPW.
You know, Billy Five's looking to capitalize. Oh, big clothesline.
That was actually a medium-sized clothesline. Oh, but that was a big elbow.
This could be it. I think it is.
No, he didn't hook the leg. How many times do I have to say, hook the leg for crying out loud?
That's a Bush League mistake, no doubt about it. And Agent Steele's got to be worried about his title now as he's rearing big reverse now.
He's going for a backdrop sunset flip, possibly. Could it be?
No, he hooks the leg.
One, two.
Oh, I really thought that was it.
That he won this IPW Heavyweight Championship with.
Yes, it is. As I said earlier, against Mike Sullivan, that broken ring match, he took me by surprise. Billy had it scouted. Here it goes again. There it is. Still your heavyweight champion, Agent Steele.
I can't believe that you're going to pull such a thing. You had him beat 1, 2, 3. That's why you're going to be the champion.
All right, fans, we're going to go to our closing in just a second. I want to thank Rod Steele and Naphtali. I guess Ron's gone. They're going to have to join me for the closing. Fans, that's coming at you now.
Good Lord. Now, here, switch that down. At least we're on TV here. Now, Agent Steele, big hearty congratulations to you, the other champion Steele in IPW. Of course, you're not the IPW TV champion, but hey, who is? Certainly not Frankie Capone and his lackey boy, Pete Cannon. What do you think about that, Naff?
You know, Pete Cannon, he did double deuce. What's going on with that? What's causing all this? Wait a minute, I'm stealing your stuff.
That's ridiculous, Jimmy. Take it easy over there. We're not trying to book you in Wildside. You're too old.
That, and I don't have all my sideways hat.
Well, and the Hardy Boys did want all their stuff back. Now, more importantly, are you all squared away now,
I'm
kid?
ready.
Excellent. Now, September 7th, IPW Hardcore Wrestling here live in the Florida WrestlePlex. It'll be hot. It'll be crazy. It'll be 250 fans screaming their heads off for IPW. Tell them like it is, man. What's the matter with you, man?